Maybe we won't even host the show for too long. Maybe it'll be a short show. Let's see how it goes. How's things your side?
Yeah. Good, good, good. In your side?
Ah, can't complain. I've got the red and white on, eh? Matching the team, so by the way, I
I
see.
am. I think I got the memo. Yeah.
Oh, you got the memo. Okay, okay. I see you got the memo, yeah.
Yeah, kinda. But I've got a little black in it as well.
But I think that was part of it, the black, white, and red was, I think.
Yeah.
I've got a,
And
the,
nowadays the pink also.
yeah, I was gonna say I've actually got a pink underpants. That's what I've got.
Okay, too much information.
How's your week been?
Busy, busy, but good, productive. No
Good, productive.
complaints. And your side?
Ah, it's been good, eh? I guess you didn't have a good footballing week, shall I say, because you played in the week, right?
Yeah, but like I said in my video that I made, it's like I don't see it as kind of like a defeat. It was like we dropped 2 points, but it wasn't the end of the world for me. It was like I
Fantastic.
expected a tough game, so I went into that game with that mindset that it was going to be a tough fixture.
Mm,
I didn't agree with all of the calls that was made in that game, but I mean, you can't cry over spilled milk. You can't do anything about it. Like crying afterwards about it, not gonna change. You've seen it happen so many times, people crying about referees. You can't change the outcome, so why cry about it? So it's just you have to deal with it. We
100%.
just have to keep on winning now because we're still ahead. So it's
Ah,
just keeping momentum now and
yeah,
not
good
going
evening.
into like a slump or something.
100%, 100%. Yeah, so we officially at 8 o'clock. We've got some people in the comments. Hopefully, they will join in on the conversation. Hopefully, they'll come in
Yeah.
and join us as well. Welcome everyone. You'll have an opportunity to hop into the box as well, and hopefully share your love for the game with us. I've got some videos of people that send in. How's it, Reno? So yeah, so we're gonna
Uh,
start up the show because it is the month of love. So we're doing something a bit different tonight on the podcast. We are on episode 12, which has been a good
woohoo.
journey so far. Didn't think we're going to come this far, but I've been having some amazing support. So I firstly want to thank everyone that always been giving us support in that. And I mean, this show cannot be done without anyone, you know?
Yeah.
So what it is basically is just people sharing their love, for the game and what actually, what made them fall in love. So I think I'm gonna give Warren a bit of get his courage together because we'll hear from his side as well. I'll also have my side as well. Thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. So let's hear Brandon, my co-host, that's not available tonight. Let's hear where his love started for the game.
So, what made me fall in love with football? I have an older brother, he's 5 years older than me. He's the one who introduced me to Liverpool, who introduced me to football in general. And sorry to get a bit deep now, but I kind of have to because this is how I fell in love with football. So, my brother and I, we had an interesting childhood to say the least. A lot of things to do with my dad, a lot of things to do with other men involved in my mom's life. That's all that I'm going to say. I don't need to get into that now. But it didn't matter what was happening in my life. If Liverpool scored a goal, if Liverpool won a game, everything disappeared. Everything else did not matter, and you would think that I was the happiest boy in the world in that moment. Nothing else mattered. And if Liverpool were doing badly or if Liverpool lost a game, I was more concerned about the fact that Liverpool were doing badly over being concerned about the actual things in my life. That is how beautiful, that is how powerful football is. It is more than just a game. And that is why I will always be in love with this game.
I think that's amazing. There was so much passion coming from why you felt in love with the game. I don't know. What do you take from the love of Brandon for the game? What do you take from that?
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah, he's an interesting person. He's so passionate about everything that he does. So it doesn't surprise me um, when he says that football was almost like his escapism. It was his checkout point when things get hectic in his life or whatever was happening with his family, he could go to watch a football game and that would lift his spirits. That would like get him out of the funk that he was in. And I think that's beautiful. I think that is so amazing because some people go to music, some people go to other stuff that they want to art and stuff like that, drawing, and him channeling soccer as his therapy almost is almost like
100%.
it's amazing.
100%. I fully agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm not sure what the comments think about his love for the game. I would love to hear the comments as well. I'm going to give you guys also an opportunity to hop in and tell us why you fell in love with the game, what made you fall in love with the game. And what I also take from that is, right, he still got all the passion for the game even with
Yep.
everything else that's still been happening in the game, with the way the game has been spoiled. So I think, you know what, props to him for still having that passion for the game. Let's get some people in from the comments. Let's see if they would like to share their story what made them fall in love with the game. So we've got Adil. Let's give Adil an opportunity. Always supportive,
Okay. Yeah.
always appreciated. Thank you for all the likes, guys. We're on 489. Hopefully we can hit 1,000 in the next 5-10 minutes. I know you guys are always supporting. Thank you very much. Is Adil having some network connection or is it my side?
I don't see anybody joining.
Yeah, is Adil waiting on Adil to join us? I know Adil is not in his hometown. But anyway, tell us where your love starts with the game.
Okay, so it's kind of similar to Brandon, but not. I've got a twin brother, so we had like growing up, we had the
Twin
same
brother.
group of friends, and then I've got a twin brother, but we're not
Okay.
fraternal twins, so we don't
So
look
is this
alike.
actually you or is this
Um,
your twin brother sitting here?
it's we don't look alike,
I
so
gotta
it's
ask, I
me.
gotta ask, I gotta ask, I gotta ask.
Okay. So we're very different from each other. But growing up, we had the same like group of friends until we got older, and then we like split into separate like group of friends. But we used to like any out boys out there. We used to play soccer like in the backyard or in the street or like at the park or whatever. And they would always call me like this solid goalkeeper. And I think it started there, and then obviously I grew into watching professional football and my love for Liverpool came there. High school, I was like a big Gerrard. Was like my favorite person to watch in the thing. So it's kind of similar to him just saying that he's got all the men in his life, and they were all watching soccer, and that's where his thing came from. It's similar to me. It's like I gravitate towards that because that's something me and my brother shared until we were not on the same path of lives anymore, and and it's still there. I'm still supporting Liverpool since this day, and I think I've also started growing as a content creator now, making these videos, and you can see now I'm like really dedicated, even on the podcast and in your predictions and stuff like that. So I'm very committed to something that I'm passionate about, and I feel the same way that about football.
So would it be fair to say that your love for the game started through a group of friends, your brother, and obviously feeding off energy from that? That would basically you say that's where your
Yeah,
love started to the game. Okay, I
yeah,
guess like
basically, and it taught me about team and working as a team person, and accepting other people because you're not always going to have the same person in your life, so you have to deal with 10 other people on the pitch, and
okay,
even it's like and that you can put into your real life as well at work because you're going to
mm,
work with other people with different
100%,
personalities. You have to adapt and you have to deal
100%,
with people. You will know when to shut up and when to be a leader and when to just be like a backseat person.
100%.
So it kind of taught me some lessons in life as well.
Nice, 100%. And that's what football does. That's why it's such a beautiful game. And not just football, I guess any sport.
Evening.
It can teach you a lot of discipline in that. Anyway, anyone else want to hop in before we maybe listen to someone else, maybe, where his love for the game started? As the caption says below me, what made you fall in love for football? You're more than welcome to come and pop in. We're not going to be talking about any opinions about games, any trivia questions. We're not going to be talking about that. We just want to hear where your love for the game started. Let's see if we got anyone in the comments that would like to hop in.
I see Adil joined again. He's
Nothing
probably
yet.
having.
Okay. All right. So let's quickly get someone else. Let's listen to someone else, and then I'll give someone again an opportunity to come in. So this is a guy, Dean. He sent us a video before. If anyone remember, I'm not sure. I can't remember which episode it was. He was like the refs works on my shut it. It was one of those things, which was quite funny as well. But let's hear where his love for the game started.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to the podcast.
just before I carry on, it was sent to me in the morning. He's not greeting everyone good morning. Just want to put that out there. The video was sent to me in the morning. Let's hear where his love started.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. To the podcast. If you get this video, you get it. I just got to say, I love football too much. I love football to the max. It's like my second church, and it means a lot to me, man. Football means a lot to me. I'm a hard, rocket, solid Man United fan ever since 2000, the year 2000, when I started playing. I was like 8 years old, and I used to play on a field opposite my house, so I was very near to home, and it was always safe there those years. Um, yeah, I love football too much, man. Yo, I'm a passionate football player. I used to play football. I played the flat diamond, bottom flat diamond formation, as in left back, two center backs, left or right, and right back and defensive midfielder. I played once striker as well, and that was when I was playing for Ashford Athletic. I played for Burnley. Whenever I never knew Burnley at that time. I was at the age of 11. I used to play in here in Roykrans. So yes, I love football too much, man, and it's my life, man. And football is great all the time, and God is great. So yeah, thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure. Like if people come in. I don't know if you guys heard before we give Art the opportunity. He said he played in the diamond. And how ironic is this? His T-shirt's actually got kind of a diamond on it as well.
Valentine, the
You gotta be
Umbro
very
is
observant, eh? Adil, welcome, sir. Comments, let me know what's your thoughts on this guy's love for the game. I think Adil was here for the Brandon one as well. He was here for the Warren one. What's your take, Adil, on the love for these guys and where did your love started for the game?
Hi, good evening, guys. How's everyone doing? This is
Always
good
good,
Warren.
here.
sir.
Always good, man. Now, just to give a take on the guys, you know what? This is what's it all about. The beautiful game of football unite us, strangers on a platform, supporting the same club. My love for football started at the age of, I think I was 9 years old, a very long time ago, when we used to go to Atlant Stadium, Hartleyville Stadium with my father, my uncle, to go watch local games, guys. And you know what? The sheer pleasure of seeing fathers and sons together at a special place, because my father was an Everton supporter, my whole family, my uncles was all Manchester United, and I used to go with my uncle all the time, and me and him was always together watching games, and that's how I became a Man United diehard supporter, you know. And my father always used to joke because he was not so serious with football. He was more into business, you know. He wasn't. But where my uncle them, it was a religion in our house.
It's a
Man
religion indeed.
United games, everybody will gather at my uncle's house, and there was no Liverpool supporters. You know that in those days it was hardcore. You were a Manchester
Yeah,
United supporter
or you
or
Liverpool.
nothing. And the
100%.
neighbors used to come. We used to be the biggest derby was always Liverpool versus Manchester. That was for me unique because then it was a braai. It was the people in the street. It was a gathering, you know. It was people bantering each other. If your team won, so it's kind of like we kind of like lost that because of social media. Nowadays, everything's on social media. We watch the games alone. I try to instill football in my children, and we still watch up till today football together. So the love for that game, what it means for me is togetherness, man. It brings nations together. It brings. I've met people on this app because of football, and that will always stand out for me, guys. Always, you're always meeting a fellow supporter, and also not just Manchester United supporters, just for the pure love of the game. You know what? I watch any game, but for me, it's the love of football. I will give guys the flowers if they play well. I will give, never mind what. We deep down we know it's all about football, but the banter will not always be there. But the
100%.
bottom line is football, and that for me is important, man.
100%.
Although
And
we
that's
never won, yeah, we never want Liverpool to win the league this year because you know that's our arch rivals.
100%. And
We
that's why,
don't
you
want
know
their
what,
20th cup.
and that's why the one thing I don't do, I don't do banter. I would rather just pass info. You get what I'm saying? Because I love the game that much that I don't really like banter. I would rather just pass info. It's nice being a messenger. That's what I love doing. And you know what's the one thing I took as well, Warren Adil, from Dean, of course, and from yourself. Dean was saying that in his video, it's like a second home to him, like a second church. And you mentioned like football is a religion. It brings people together. It unites people. It can even bring families together. It can even tear families apart. It can tear friendship apart. And that is just the beautiful part of the game. But guess what? End of the day, football will always be the winner. Football will always be the winner.
And
Whether we like it or not, but there's nothing that can change the culture about football.
you know
You
what?
know?
It's sometimes, guys. Iggy, I just wanted to share this with you guys. Sometimes I feel a bit sad for the younger generation that's watching football. They never experience what was football like before VAR,
Mm,
before all those rules and regulations, when it was pure football adrenaline,
pure.
people kicking each
100%.
other, just carrying on. It is
100%.
it's kind of like they're
100%.
in their own era of watching a game and seeing a different dimension of the game. But for us
100%.
that's older, we've gone through a whole phases of changes throughout football. And if you've
100%.
been there, you kind of like feel sad for those guys because they don't really know the Canton era, where people. I mean, I will always remember Roy Keane taking out people bad. That
100%.
was just
100%.
so it's kind of like we are actually very fortunate at our age to
100%.
been through it all.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
No,
Adil, I
thanks, guys.
appreciate
I'll
that.
come in the
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do something different tonight. You must stay in the box, okay? Then you can also give
Okay.
your view,
Cool.
whatever. So I'm doing something different tonight. It's the month
Okay.
of love. So we do things different. We change things up at times. Because I know there's a lot of people that's available tonight. But thank you to those people in the comment section. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it, guys. If you wanna hop in the box, guys, hop in the box. Come and tell us where your love for the game started. So let's listen to another gentleman, always sending in videos, always supporting a young lad. I'm sure you
Lovely
guys are
Nasser.
very welcome. Ah,
Nasser.
there we go. There we go.
Nasser.
Adil, don't worry, Adil. I will send your roses to you, sir. Let's hear where Nasser's love for the game started.
Let's
Good day,
do it.
all. Another episode on this podcast. Today is a special edition, Valentine's Day. So, what made me fall in love with the game of football? It was in 2004-05 Champions League final, Liverpool against AC Milan. Me being 6 years old. Okay, watching the game with my father. I've always loved football, but I didn't really show interest until about the age of 6. I then, the player that really caught my eye, who made me fall in love with the game, is Steven Gerrard, and hence I am a die-hard Liverpool supporter, and I will always remain a Red for life. Notably, I'll mention there's two players that played for AC Milan that also made me love the game, and I will always remember them and their playing styles. The names are Ronaldinho and Kaká. Those are the two guys that really caught my eye, and up till today, I will profoundly and always mention their names as one of my favorite players. So yeah, that is what made me fall in love with the game and with the club I support. You never walk alone. You know how the saying goes.
I actually tried to actually cut that out, where you never walk alone, but I thought, you know what, I don't want to obviously, do that because it is the month of love, so let's show some love to Nasser's video. Please, guys, let's show some love to the live. Please keep on smashing the live. My guests in the box, you guys are more than welcome to give them. Let's just show some love tonight. The one thing I like about what Nasser is saying, right? There is moments that stood out for him. There's players that stood out for him that he will always remember. And I'm sure one day he will probably be of our generation that will speak to his younger generation. So you know what? You don't know. You've never witnessed a Kaka. You've never witnessed a Ronaldinho. The only place you're gonna witness these guys, it's actually gonna be on videos on YouTube. And I guess that's a beautiful part which we can be grateful. Adil, yes, mentioned it before that there was
Social
no
media.
social media. But imagine if there was no social media today, what would the generation of today have been experiencing, you know? Anything you're taking out from the love for the game of Nasser, Adil? Warren, you wanna go?
I just want to say something quickly. When he mentioned that his love started in 2004 and he was 6 years old, I was like, very good. Like, I felt so old at that point because I matriculated that year. So I was like, really? And that I didn't even know that he was that young. But like he said, he has a profound love for Steven Gerrard. We support the same club. He's a hardcore Liverpool supporter. Me as well. I know Kaka and Ronaldinho and all those people as well. So there's a lot of similarities in our approach to the game, I would say. And I really respect him because I like the way that he um, always carries himself when he's talking about the game, and he's always so passionate, and he can really speak well. So I see a really bright future for Nasser.
Is that maybe just
Um,
not a Liverpool thing, maybe that all Liverpool fans love
yeah,
Kaka and
yeah.
I'm just asking,
No, it's
I'm just
not.
asking,
It's
I'm
not. It's it's not.
yes,
What I
Adil,
took
go for
out
it.
of that, what I took out of you can clearly see it's a different generation. I mean, you're talking about 2004. I matriculated 1992. So, yeah. So let me just tell you something. When Iggy asked us to sing, and I'm traveling actually, I'm not at home. I'm actually on the road. Um, when Iggy asked us to sing in our clips,
Yeah,
look at the generation, and Brendan is not at all, but look at his response versus a Nasser. I'm just saying, I'm trying to point out the generational gaps
Yes,
yeah,
that
definitely.
he went straight to players where the older guys, the guys that there's much more longer involved with football, it stems from the heart. I didn't
mm,
Yeah,
point to a player. I pointed to a moment. I
yeah.
pointed to, I'm just trying to point out everybody's
Your
got a different.
childhood
mm.
or and
Yeah,
all that
so
stuff. Yeah,
Look,
very interesting, very interesting.
I'm going to slightly agree to disagree with you,
Mm,
Adil. I think that it started from a player for him. I guess for me it all started from the player, but I guess that player developed some love into the game for him, you know.
yeah,
Adil, can you just smoke outside the screen? Otherwise, I'm gonna give you that notification, huh?
okay.
Yeah,
Also, one thing I wanted to say, guys, that I don't know, when we used to watch football, no, like the Manchester game, the derby, it would have always been on the screen. My uncle used to put the speakers up.
yeah.
And that moment when that is full blast, not now like we watch it now, man. When we watch it full surround sound
Mm,
and
yeah.
everybody's standing up when we sing the anthem of our club,
yeah,
that we used to stand up. There was no sitting down. You must stand up. Now it's the anthem.
yeah.
Like we sing
100%,
stand for the national anthem. So
100%.
that brought a love that what my as a child I always wanted to go to Old Trafford just to go and experience that
Wow,
we don't get that. You know what? We
wow.
don't really get that type of
Experience, the
uh,
experience.
experience,
Atmosphere.
yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
atmospheres on another level. So yes,
100%,
Hartleyville in that you could experience that, but it's a different vibe, because the
100%,
stadium is capacity full. I
100%.
saw one match, 70,000 people. I think it was the Arsenal game a few years back at Old Trafford.
Yeah,
Um, guys, you cannot even. I'm sure Anfield is the same. Wherever you go, it's the same. But Manchester was just on another level.
100%,
The
100%.
era. So I would love and I would pray that everybody gets an opportunity to go and experience it. It's just another
Absolutely.
level. The way those people are passionate about football is really on another level.
100%. Anyway, thanks, Audio. Thanks to Nasser so far. Thanks to Dean. Thanks to Brandon that sent in a 1 minute clip. Anyone in the comment section want to hop into the box? Come and give us a quick little short 1 minute where your love for the game started. Or I think maybe I'll play one more clip and then you can basically see what it is about. And hopefully you don't have to put your camera even on. You can leave your camera off. We just want to hear where people's love for the game started because it is the month of love. And because Valentine's Day is actually on the same day as the podcast, so I just thought, you know what? Let's just do something different
Something
than
different.
your normal conversation. So here's another guy, my naam genoot. Let's hear where his love for the game started. His name is Ihsan.
Okay, Mr. Iggy Meister, my story starts from 1995. Before that, I was watching, Mnet open time on a Saturday, you always see Tottenham versus QPR, and I didn't care who they was. I was just hated. Oh bloody hell! It was Saturday and the soccer kicking, and I didn't like Saturday because we always the only time we could watch Mnet was during that time. So, but everything changed when I saw the kung fu kick. Eric Le King Cantona give me a kung fu kick. Manchester versus Crystal Palace. The black and gold gear. Yeah, so that happened. I was like amazed by the support he got from Sir Alex Ferguson. Even his quote at the end when he was quoted, when he said, "Okay, you know what? When seagulls," that whole quote, I was like, this nigga, I'm supporting this guy. And then obviously getting to know the whole team. I didn't care who Liverpool was, Arsenal, Tottenham, QPR, Sheffield Wednesday. I didn't even know who the bloody hell they are, but I started following them and I started loving them since that day. I mean, obviously involving was like going the research, checking up every time any updates about them. So this made me love them more. So I've seen the struggles, I've seen our triumphs, and this slump that we're in, we still need to find the DNA, all these things. We need to recreate Manchester United again. But I think we're slowly getting there anyway. But that's why I love football, competitiveness. We can't always be the greatest, but in my heart, Red Devils will always be the greatest. Yeah, so sorry, I know it's over time, but that's my take on why I love football or how I fell in love with football. Go, see ya.
I actually like that. Yes, it's like, "Yeah, you know what I want, but over time of the, but I want to tell you guys what my love for football was about, you know. You need to hear this, you know, you need to hear the Eric Cantona, the flying kick, you know, that emotions, that passion, you know, that we saw in the Liverpool game, that we saw in the Everton game, you know. That kind of passion was there, you know, and that basically got you so excited, it got you hyped up. You in the house sitting with different fans and like, fuck you, man, that was a penalty. You know, so that was the hype. You were around people, and it sometimes still happen in bars and in like what is this clubs that they've got, you know, supporters clubs, you know, and that was actually moments that you'll always remember, you know, and that is what brought people. But the funny part is, what I experienced was when I used to go to a to a supporters club or whatever, you could be different fans, but after the game, you know, you all became friends again. So that moment, you're rivals, but you became friends. You know, it's like you just created a new family buzz around, you know, different fan bases. You know, I even get excited for that. You know, what's your take on that, Warren?
Yeah, I love this video, and I loved how he said it with overtime, and then at the same time I saw BRM's comment about Michael Oliver, and it took me back to the Everton game when he went overtime. But okay, there was a little joke there. But yeah, I love this video. I think he said like he didn't understand what all the hype was about, and then he didn't know who QPR and all these people were, and then it basically evolved him as a fan, and he's this hardcore Manchester United fan, and we support different clubs, but I get his passion, I get what that love that he has, and he wants Manchester United to do well. He's even still saying, he's talking about the past, he's talking about the present, and how he wants them to improve in the future, that they're still in the slump, but they will still get there, and that he's a red devil at heart. I love that. I thought this video was great.
100%, 100%. Let's play one more video and see where this person's love for the game started. She's always very, very supportive as well. Welcome everyone. Let's see where her love started for the game.
So, my story of when I fell in love with football. I was about 11 years old at the time. And I mean, if you grow up in a house where, like my dad, my brother, one of my uncles, Liverpool supporters, my grandfather was United, another one of my uncles was also United, right? So, automatically people just assume that because your dad is Liverpool, you're also Liverpool. But that's not how it happened for me, if I'm being honest, right? I was watching the Champions League final, no? the one where Liverpool beat AC Milan and they made that crazy comeback. I've watched that game so many times. But it was in that moment, it was Steven Gerrard, the passion, the heart that he had, that the way that he played for the badge, that is what made me decide to be a Liverpool supporter. And he's the reason that I really latched on to football as I grew older. And that's the reason why I'm a Liverpool supporter, and that's why I love football so much. It started with Steven Gerrard.
Okay. Interesting, né?
Wow.
Interesting, né?
I
Where her
love
story
that.
started as well. Anything you guys take from her love for the game, where it started? Comments? You guys can also interact. You guys are more than welcome to jump into the box. We got 4 people in the comment section. Hop into the box. I'm more than happy to accept you guys. Let's listen to some other stories as well. What made you guys fall in love? Uh, Adil, anything you take from Mooncake there?
Yeah, no, very interesting, and it's so beautiful because that connected her with football. So, like I said, everybody has a moment where they connect with football. Like she said, she pointed out the passion, the never die out attitude that Steven Gerrard had on that day. That totally convinced her that wow, the love of football starts here. So for me, it's brilliant. It's actually amazing that passion can unite you with a sport, and also that it brings out to say, well, the courage that that guy had. I saw that game a lot of times. I watched that game a few times because it's a good game to watch for the love of football.
Mm.
And I can understand where your passion comes from because he never gave up, eh? He never gave up. So well done to her, man.
Ah,
Beautiful
Wa-
story.
Warren, what do you take from her story?
Yeah, I love that. And love story is similar to Nasser's one because they're talking about the same game. And what I liked is Nasser took inspiration from Steven Gerrard. She took
Yeah,
inspiration from Steven Gerrard. I took inspiration from Steven Gerrard, and I'm in a totally different generation. So like it boggles my mind, but it's so cool at the same time.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
love the fact that and I don't like to generalize. I love to see females that are supportive of football, that are into the game, and the fact that we've got this women's league now, it's amazing. Um, I love that. I think and there's a lot of similarities here, and I can see why we all three Liverpool supporters.
yeah. I guess that for me, what I like about her story, for me, what is cool. Yes, she developed a love for the game, but the one thing for me that stands out, um, she mentioned about is it my uncle or someone that was a United supporter.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
she didn't let anyone make up her mind. She actually made her
yeah,
mind up on a moment that she witnessed. She made her mind up about developing a passion on that moment, you know. So that was quite cool, you know. Mr. Akim,
yeah.
I'm not
Mm.
sure you hopped out, so you can hop back in, sir. I said we're gonna do a very, very short show tonight. We won't actually do it a very long show, because it is Valentine's. I know that a lot of people will be busy with their own things. I think I'm gonna end up the show. It won't be an hour that you guys will listen to me. But my short little story was I was a young lady playing in the road football. I just loved kicking a ball. And no one of my family is as much sporty as I am. My dad wasn't the person that was into football, but my dad used to take me on Saturdays. We used to go play pool. So we had that kind of bond, but we didn't have the football bond. And one day I was at the neighbor and I saw what's his name? Diego Maradona. I think that was in 86 or 87, somewhere around there, the hand of God. And I was like, look at this guy. And I was
Indeed.
watching a bit of that game, and the way they played and the way this guy was just running this game. And I said, this
Mm.
guy's so skillful. I want to be like
Yeah.
this guy, you know. I think I was about 6 or 7 years of age, and I was like, I want to be
Yeah.
like this guy, you know. Morna, you can actually hop in, sir. So you can come share your story with us quickly. What made you fall in love with the game? Um, so let me just play Morna quickly, and the new people that actually came in. So this is what it is about.
So, my story of when I fell in love with football. I was about 11 years old at the time. And I mean,
Okay, so he's actually busy. I just wanted to give him a bit of a recap. I think that he is busy. So, so yeah, so basically, I was at Young Light and I was like, I want to be like this Diego Maradona. He's so skillful. He's like looks like a sulky player, but I didn't have the mindset at that young 6, 7 years of age that about I want to be sulky. But I was like, I like this guy, you know. And then I like watched a bit, and I like now I want to support Argentina because of Maradona, you know. And then one day I was just by a buddy's place, and then we were playing dominoes. I was about 13, I think, 12, 13 years of age. And we were playing dominoes, us as youngsters. And then you always get that one neighbor that's got Mnet, that's a bit, higher up than everyone else. And he's like,
Yeah.
guys, come and watch this game with me. It's Arsenal versus United. And I'm like, who's those teams? Like, I don't know them. Like,
Yeah.
who are they about? Like, yo, it's a final, it's the Community Shield. And we all went there, and it was a house full of United supporters. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, let's play a bit of catch up. What is this about? And then that game still went to penalties. I think Mark Hughes score, and I think it was right if I speak under correction. So then I'm like,
Yo, you're taking us
okay.
back now.
Yeah, but I was like 13, so you know what? I can still remember. So yeah,
I
so I'm
love
like,
it.
how's it, Donnie? You can hop into the box, Donnie, and then come tell us a quick little story what made you fall in love with the game. So yeah, so then I was like, okay, cool, and then I was like, these guys are good, and I remember what is the name? That was also at United, was it Kanchelskis or something? I think it was Kanchelskis.
Charles Christian.
Yeah, there's him and Ince and Mark Hughes, and I see these guys, and I'm like,
Hey, Eames.
I actually like these guys. They're actually playing nice football. And what made me fall even more in love when that game went to penalties. I will never forget the last penalty in that final was taken by David Seaman. He's the goalkeeper, I think. Yeah, he took that penalty, and
Yeah.
Schmeichel saved that penalty, and I was like, this team is on fire. I need to support this team. So that's where my love started for United. And my love for the game just started out playing in the road football. So that is
Yeah.
basically where my love for the game started. Ronnie, good evening, sir. Welcome, sir. Nice to have you.
How's it, guys? How's it, guys?
Hello,
How's
Donovan.
it? How's it? How's it,
Hey, what's
Daniel?
up?
Pleasure having you, sir.
Thanks for evening, gentlemen. So my love for the game starts. I mean, as a kid, we all played football in break time, and we all had a ball and all that stuff. But my love for football started with Zidane. I think when I first saw him at the '98 France World Cup, I was really like, holy shit, this is what football really is. And and I mean, my family, my dad was a huge George Best fan.
Wow.
And he's a big Sir Alex fan, and my mom supports United. And so I watched a lot of Premier League growing up. From '92 onwards, they were broadcasting it. So I watched Leeds, I watched Middlesbrough, Blackburn Rovers, Bolton Wanderers, JJ Okocha at Bolton Wanderers. Like I watched a whole bunch of players, but it was Zidane. Zidane was
Okay.
the man for me.
Lovely stuff.
And I just tracked his career to Juventus, and eventually, in my high school, I was playing rugby. We weren't allowed to play football because
Ah,
at that time things were changing, and we moved schools and we went to a better school, but they didn't have football, so we could only play rugby. So when I left school, I picked up football again, socially with action football and 11-a-side football. And then I got back into it. And I mean, at that stage, I think it was 2000, somewhere there, it was United versus Madrid at Old Trafford. And it was Zidane, Figo, Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, Claude Makélélé, like that whole squad.
yeah,
I was like, holy shit, what team is this? I'd
yeah,
never seen them before in my life.
yeah.
And I guess that was it. That was it for me. I was like, I love the guys in white, and I thought Madrid was the team, and and me, like when I watch a team, I research everything about that team. I want to know everything about it. So
Amazing.
that was my journey into football.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. I love your story. I love your story. What I like about it, you know what, I like about Donovan's story is where his love for the game started, right? It was there, and at some point he had to stop his love, and then he's like, you know what, fuck that, man, no one is going to stop me. I'll just come back into the game. And that's what I actually
Yeah.
like. Although it was like rugby, and then he's like, nah, 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 that's not for me. This is where my love is. And I guess that's what
Yeah.
sport does. Mr. Game, welcome, Eugene. You want to share your story with us tonight? It is Valentine's, but it's a month of love. We're finding out where your love for the game started.
Guys, I'm at work, but I have to come in here. I had
Good
no
evening.
idea about the Premier League. Nothing at all. My grandpa used to take us to Athlone Stadium, my bro, to go watch Cape Town Spurs, Hellenic, Peter Marisburg, and I don't know what other teams I can't remember. But that every Monday we used to go watch soccer on Athlone Stadium, or every second Monday when Cape Town Spurs used to play. That was our team, and that's where my love and my passion for the game came. I started playing for the school, and ik was goed man. Ja, ik was goed. Ik had Western Province gespeeld. Ja, ik was een quiet player. Um, ik had glad niks geweten van I knew nothing about the Premier League. It was only
Yeah. Yeah.
local football and in
Were you also
schools
one
of
of it? Were you also
soccer
one of
in
it? Car
Sunday
food
league.
lighters. Were you also one of it? Lights playing
No,
car
no
food.
Kahoot.
Okay, okay,
No Kahoot. Like my opa, I didn't believe in Kahoot football. Also, amper soos rugby boots gee daai tyd.
okay.
Hy boet wat tot by jou enkels gekom het. Hy boet dit ons wat my oupa vir my gekoop het. It's unbelievable.
Vijf
But
minuten
that's where
schroeven
my,
in.
my, my
5 minuten
passion
schroeven
went.
in,
That's
ja.
why I'm listening to what you guys say. But there was one guy that caught my attention when I like started watching food. When nou kyk ek voetbal op die TV was Alan Shearer for Newcastle. Ek dink hy het vir Newcastle
Wow.
gespeel.
Blackburn
Yes.
also,
Yeah,
ja.
yeah.
Then he and I was a striker. En ek het 'n striker. Ek het klomp goals geskoor ouens. Ek het vir Grasspark Junior gespeel. Ek was vir Suso Western Province. Ons kan nou nie vier as daai nie because of van die apartheid. But hy was my ding want my soeke daar. And I loved Alan Shearer. But you know what guys, no? The where we grew up and in the areas that we stayed, I lost that passion. I picked up
Yeah.
buttons. I started smoking drugs, and I just lost my way totally. I lost total connection with the football and everything. I just lost my way. That what wasn't important for me anymore. You know what? And then I ended up in treatment in 2009. I went to rehab and I started getting my life together again. And I started taking notice. Ek het baie tennis gewatch. Ek was lief om van Rafael Nadal te watch en vir Novak Djokovic en vir Roger Federer. Maar die voetbal het ook my
Wow.
aandag gekry because that was my passion. And then I was like, okay, I'm more support for Man United and I'm more for support for Liverpool and so on. For wie kan ek support? I also want to be part of this, man.
Um.
And I was looking at Newcastle, but the Newcastle is in your quite Aaron Shearer is in the Danny had my Chelsea support. So I started supporting
Uh,
Chelsea in 2009.
Okay.
And that's where I find myself today. But that's my little story, guys. You know what
I
I'm
love your
saying?
story.
And I
Beautiful.
had to
I love
come
your
here,
story.
but
But the
my
one thing you
my
left out in
my
your story,
football stuff.
guys, the one thing he left out in his little story, he's been coming along with me on the platform, and I introduced him back into creating even bigger love for the game. So he just forgot to mention that. But thank you for giving my
Yes.
my my roses. I won't say flowers because it is the month of love. It's always a month of love. Yo, Kenton was what a player it was. What a player it was. Yo, like I must say, it's been a very interesting show. Is
But
there
yeah,
anyone
guys.
else like to share the story with us in the comments? ERM, up into the box. Let's hear your story.
Okay, I'm gonna jump now because I'm gonna jump because I'm at work, man.
No stories, man. Thanks for popping in,
But
sir.
thank you for the opportunity, guys. It was awesome.
no problem.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
No problem, no problem at all.
I love that.
Yeah. So, guys, I know Don, it's the first time you're in this podcast of mine. So that is basically what it is about. I said to you, when you need to talk, so that I can guide you on something like this. As you can see, this thing is amazing. It does a lot of things, and it's quite good for what you're running on your side. I'm just that guy. I like to help where I can. So pop me your number in the DMs, Donny, and I'll add you, and then I'll don't mind giving you a breakdown as well.
Yeah,
But I want,
yeah, no, cool. I haven't. How can I say? There's a plan in place but it's just because I've been busy. I've got a kid in university. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things. I've sold a house. I've done a lot of things in the
okay,
last couple of months. So I just
yeah,
haven't put a lot of focus, and that's why I'm back on TikTok
okay,
and we're building the conversations that we used to have.
okay,
So I think the difference is between me and everybody else is, I talk broadly about the game. I don't
yeah,
like to talk about specifics in the game.
mm,
I like to extend the conversation to and that's why I started the conversation about PSG
mm,
yesterday,
yeah,
and to talk about sporting directors and the work that they do in the
yeah,
game. So I think, like, for me, like, my kind of value proposition of the community is like you guys. You guys are the content creators. I like to have you guys in because I like to have the insights that you push out on your content.
mm,
I like to have the insights that you have on your clubs because then I learn from,
of
like, you
course,
talk about United. I learn like what's happening in United. Like, Cape comes in, I learn what happens at Liverpool.
it's
Maybe I disagree with him sometimes, but
yeah,
we learn from each other, and
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
really the community that I'm
yeah, no,
creating.
hundred
Or
percent,
so
no,
I don't
hundred
want to
percent.
interfere with a pro United stance. I want to be a lot more neutral.
Now what I'm saying
That's
I
good.
is,
like to
let me
I
just
like
show
to
you
stay
something.
I like to stay neutral.
Let me just show you something, Tony. What I am referring to. Let me just show you something. What I'm referring to.
You got the
Uh,
live studio you're talking about. Have you got the
yeah,
studio app?
there we go. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
let's
have the
say,
studio app. I got to figure out how to work it because I can work it on my phone. I
okay,
just haven't like sat down and figured it out. But I've got the studio app. I've got
yeah,
the headphones and all that and the microphones and stuff. So I just have to
okay.
sit down and do all that stuff. But
Let
I've
me show you
got
something. Let
I
me show you.
get your number from Mr. H,
No,
and
hundred
then the
percent.
three of us we can sit and talk and see how we can
Let me
work
show you
around.
something. Let me show you something quickly before I go. Let's just see here quickly. I'll show you now. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. So yeah, so let's do this quickly. So let's just move this up.
Yeah, you got the YouTube channel. Yeah.
So
No, I
let's,
also have a YouTube channel.
yeah, no, what I'm saying is, but
Do
say for
not make
instance,
another debt repayment until you have watched this video. Most
Oh, I
people
see.
don't
I
know.
see.
Hi, Ruben.
You can you
It's
can
been
you
a week
can
or so
show
since we've seen
some.
you. How good was that to have that time on the training ground? And
so,
in terms of the injured players, are you able to provide an update on when we might see Mason
so say
Mount,
for
This is
instance,
now on studio.
Luke Shaw, Johnny
yeah,
Evans?
No, it was a good week until 2 days
so
ago.
Okay.
We had
I
some
need to figure
problems
out how to
also,
work with
so
all
we are
this.
not. We don't have players back. Maybe we'll have one of two issues, but
I have one of those
we are
fancy.
waiting.
I have a
We
phone,
have
so I
one
should be
player
able to
also
multitask
is
on there.
sick, so we'll see the team on weekend. But it was good to work with the team, to feel the players, and to try to.
so what I'm basically saying is, if that, if you want to have that moments where you want to show your guys, like you guys are maybe wanting to like look at, say for instance, you want to look at that
Offside
incident,
rule.
that offside rule, was it offside net? Then you can pull all these things up for yourself.
Okay.
You can even have it like little slots, right? Videos, everything lined up. Like for instance, let me just hide this again. So say for instance, I've already got this stuff lined
So,
up.
what made
You see,
Good morning, Moon.
it's just like a click of the finger. I can have pictures up here and whatever. So that's what I basically run. So what I do is I do this podcast, and then once I'm done with the podcast, and then I download my live, and then once I download it, and then I take the full live and I put it onto my YouTube channel. But in your case, what you can do is, I know you don't create a lot of content, but maybe you can pull people from different fan bases. Then maybe you can download whatever you've been like running. Then you can pull up pictures. So everyone here in the boxes will be here, down here. Alright, so once they are down here, you've got this screen here up for yourself, and you
Yeah.
can pull up stuff there, and you like the guys are having conversation and like, okay, cool. So even while you guys are here, you can even go and search. Okay, cool. So you guys are having conversation, you search for something, right? And you pull up, and now you maybe got the video on YouTube. Okay, guys, cool. So you guys were debating this. Let's see what's your thoughts on this, you know? So then you can
Yeah.
have those kind of things, you pull it up there. So I do this podcast every Friday night, but I've got people sending me 1 minute videos. So what they do is on 1 minute videos, they would like say, what do you think
On
about
1 minute
this
videos,
incident,
they would
right?
like say, what do you think
Sorry,
about
Mr.
1 minute
Liverpool, daar's 'n bietjie van
videos?
echo daarso. Ek gaan jou gaan net
Like so.
mute gou. Okay, I unmute. I know if you unmute Mr. Liverpool. So maybe like they say, okay, there was an incident that happened. I play the video, and people in the comments give their view about it, and then they will then have an opportunity to hop into the box. I do a quick 1 minute of countdown. Once I've done that, and then someone else, so I keep a flow to it, you know. And then I don't know why you helped it was Liverpool. You could have stayed there. I was going to give you an opportunity now, sir, but you can come back in. Yeah. So then people like this tonight was dedicated just for how people develop their love for the game.
Okay,
So that's
cool.
what it was.
I like I said, I got to sit down and play with every. I don't really have a lot of. Well, I'll have a bit of time now when my daughter leaves next week.
Okay.
So then, I'll be able to sit down and see how this whole thing works.
Yeah. That's fine.
I want to like there's a whole plan to set this up on laptop in a bit more seamless way. But yeah, and then,
Well,
from a YouTube perspective, what we're gonna do on YouTube between me and Mr. H, we haven't yet decided. But we just generating the lives, and if there's any additional content we punch out,
mm,
uh, then we do it that way.
yeah. Now, look, for me, I know that I'm doing something different to what you guys are doing, but I'm always in your life, and I'm that guy I like to support, I like to guide, and I like to help.
No,
And
that's
I have
what,
been
yeah, we
seeing,
appreciate that.
and I've been seeing what you are doing, and especially after last night. Was it last night? I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the night before, where I saw that the guys were having a debate, but you had to use your phone. So then you can like pull your stuff up. So for me, it's nothing
Yeah,
to give you some
I
kind of
think I must
guidance.
just figure out how to, on TikTok Studios, how to do stuff like this.
It's
Because
very
that would
simple.
actually help me, yeah.
It's very, very simple. When you are ready, pop me a message. If I'm free, I don't mind coming helping you.
Okay,
100%.
cool.
100%.
I gotta run now, bro. But thanks for having
Thanks.
me.
Later, sir. Thanks for
And
sharing your
I
story.
think I added about 3,000 likes there, so
I
I'm
appreciate
doing my
that.
best.
I
All right,
appreciate that,
bro.
man. I appreciate that,
Okay.
man. Okay, cool,
Okay,
man.
bye.
Anyone else want to hop in quickly before we end of the show? Leno, you want to come in quickly to share 1 minute, why and how you fell in love with the game from your side? You want to hop into the box where your love started? Should I give you an example of someone, to build you a bit of courage? So let's play Brandon's one more time, and then we'll see if no one hops in. So I'll give Lando just an opportunity to see what it is
So,
about.
what made me fall in love with football? I have an older brother, he's 5 years older than me. He's the one who introduced me to Liverpool, who introduced me to football in general. And sorry.
Okay, so that's basically what it is about. It's share love, where your love started for the game. What made you fall in love with the game? Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Evening
Good
to you, sir.
evening.
Yeah, with me, look, I think I was 8 years old. I think I was watching FA Cup with my buddies, and I started playing football obviously at that time. So we got together as the under 9 or under 10 team, and yeah, since then I was a player, and I started watching the game. At the time, Everton and Liverpool, I think it was in the 80s. So at the time, Liverpool and Everton was the two top teams, and Ian Rush and John Barnes.
Mm,
Those were my favorite guys to watch at the time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's when I became a Liverpool fan, and ever since I've been a Liverpool fan, and yeah, I didn't
Okay.
stop since then.
So it's basically a player that made you fall in love with the game. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Guys, that is basically our hour of our podcast done. Please pop me a DM if you wanna send me a 1 minute video for next week's show. Any opinion you've got or any incident you would like to get people in the comments to give their view, the host myself and my two co-hosts to give their view as well. People jump into the box like yourself, Lando. You give your opinion about a video that's been played over there, or you got just something on your mind you would like to share. All right, so I'm gonna say have a blessed evening, everyone. Enjoy your Valentines with your loved ones. Stay safe out there. Have a beautiful footballing weekend, and let's hope Liverpool keep on dropping points.
Cheers, guys. See you guys
Cheers,
soon.
guys.
Cheers, everyone, guys. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining and thank you for the support, guys.